Ideas and methodologies of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Leonardo was the first person, and actually I believe, well, we've had another person from Venezuela join us from the US, but really the first person to travel from Venezuela to be with us and to complete the level 1 training of trainers. He returned to again review and almost repeat the level 1 program with us, and to participate and to kind of join us in the training, and then completed the advanced leadership for organizing and mobilizing in nonviolence, what we describe as our advanced leadership level 2 program. Since that time, Leonardo established, working with his organization in Venezuela, Redes por la Vida, and was doing extraordinary. I can only describe the work you've done, Leonardo, as extraordinary. You're one of the trainers from our center's training that has really done remarkable work and remained very true. Many of our trainers go on to do all kinds of different things. You've remained very true to the words and ideas and principles and methodologies of Dr. Martin Luther King. And we're very proud of you. And of course, you have reached, when you were in Venezuela, you were able to reach literally hundreds of thousands of people through radio, television, public announcements, public programs, direct teaching, instruction, and workshops, and just did amazing, amazing work following your training with us. The center soon after recognized Leonardo Prieto as someone who has institutionalized and internationalized his nonviolence training in a way that makes big impact, and that is recognized by our center here at the university as a level 3 Kingian nonviolence trainer. I'm going to stop here. I could say a lot more, but to give our time to Leonardo. Welcome everyone, and particularly warm welcomes to our friend Leonardo.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Porter. It's good for me. It's an honor to be here. You know that I love the work that you do too, because you are the principal in the Venezuela work.
Yes.
I do the work in place, but you are the intellectual making work in my country. Okay. Now I'm living in Washington, D.C. I have 3 years here because you know the situation in my country. We have to go out from there because the government don't want the people like me. When we teach the another to defend their civil rights and to change the condition and to look for a life together better for everybody. Okay, I'm going to begin with the presentation. And now, today I want to talking about the culture of peace in Latin America, but we are going to talking about many things, and we can not talking only Latin America when you're talking about the peace, because the peace is many multipolar factors that coming for to get or for to lose the peace when you look for. Latin America, in this presentation, we are going to talk in something about the history, because it's very important to know the history in in the presentation you are going to see, because the people say, or the people in my country believe that we are a Pacific population. But this is not true. I'm going to show you in the presentation. And for that, I'll make a recopilation about the history about the many countries, and we are going to touch something about South Africa and Rwanda, Liberia, Ireland, and some place, because I want to present you the way that they took for to get the peace in this country after big conflict. When we look for the indicator about the peace index in the world in 2020, we can see that we are not good. We have many technology, we have many things, we go ahead in many areas, but in the peace, we are back. And this has to be sad for us, because the peace is important for the world, because if we want to grow like a human, we have to learn to get the peace. You can see that the 81 country regress in the peace indicator. You can find this sure coming from 163 nations. You can see that when you make the promise, you find that 0.34% is going back. Don't fall the global peace index. The change in the global peace index, when you look analysis in Latin America, you can see that Colombia is going back. Venezuela is fall. Don't have stop. We have 20 years or maybe more that we are degrees the peace in the Venezuela. But the thing that we can see here, sorry, because the presentation is something in Spanish, I'm going to explain the slide.
I think that's okay, Leonardo. And in fact, we may have some, primary Spanish speakers in our audience tuning in with us. So feel free to use whatever bilingual you'd like.
Thank you. Okay. When you see Latin America and Central America, we are not good. We are not better than the last year, the 5 years ago, 10 years ago. We don't get that we need to go in this situation. You can see that Islandia is the best country, the country more safe for the people. New Zealand to Portugal, Austria, Denmark. Portugal have a good work in 10 years. They find more peace than another country. But when you look for the Latin America, you can see in the down peace, you can find more 5 countries in the last list. If you look at this slide, you can see that Colombia, Mexico, it's a big problem in Latin America and Central America, because we are compared with Syria, countries that have war, civil war inside. And you say how Colombia and how Mexico have violent, too much violent, if they don't have work. It's like Venezuela. Venezuela have more people that in the year than Syria. And we don't have war in Venezuela. And this is a thing that we have to think, because it's important to change that condition. Here we can see that 2018, that is the report about the conflict, human rights, and construction of peace in the world. You can see Venezuela in 2008, 120 persons died because the protest, because the people fighting for the civil rights, fighting for to find a better condition in the society. You analyze, Mexico, you know Mexico, I'm going to explain by country the situation, why that country have that problem. And the tension in the war is very high, very high. When I'm talking that in my country, we prepare many people to teach the nonviolent philosophy, Kinja nonviolent philosophy, to create a culture of peace. When I say the number, that the people believe that is many people, but I know that we need the double or the triple more people that can teach the culture of peace, because you know that the violence is a conduct, and for somebody, not for me, is a conduct. It is coming with the people, and you can teach the nonviolence. The peace program of the UNESCO in the last century, they prepare everything for the 21st century, the statement from program. And they have four principal lines for this century. They prepare, and they say that the first liner is learning how to be. Learning how to be. The second line is learning how to learn. The third learning, the third line is learning how to do, how the people can do the thing. And the fourth, and it's the more important for the creative culture of peace, is learning how to coexist with another. Because when you teach to the people that you have to live with another, this is the beginning that you have, that the people know that you have to understand that many things, that you are not absolutely the truth, that you need the another for to live, that everything that you want, you have to consult, and that you right finish when the another rights begin. This is important. This line is very important. The UNESCO make in 1998, and this is the project for this century. Here I'm bringing the contribution for the peace, for the budget of the UNT. You can see that, I don't know if the number is small, but you can see that United States apport 22% of the budget. Is around, for this year is the total budget is 3,000 million. United States apport for this 3,000 million, maybe 600, 700 million dollars. When you compare this with another country, like economic strong, like China, you can find that China only give 3.1% of the budget. This is like a $100 million. Here you have a list. In this year, China give more for, because this change after 2015. Germany apport 6%, or UK apport 5% of French, 5%, Italy 3%, Russian 3%, Canadian 2%, Republic of Korea, South Korea 2%. United States this year report 27.89%. But the thing that I want to highlight you is not the money. The thing is, when you are going to look for the country that's paid on time, you find that many countries never pay on time. It's not too much money. When you compare this with the money that's used the work on the country used for to create armor, weapon, it's a small quantity. You know, a budget for 3,000 million of dollar compared with maybe 300,000 million in weapon spent. It's very small. Maybe it's less than the 1%. The budget in the war for to contribute to the peace. According to the Cartel Foundation, the last inform, this is information that's prominent. It's not only the last is prominent with 4 years ago to today. There are around 50 conflicts in the world. The reason for the conflict is political, ethnic, religion. Majority of the conflict has been resolved in the past 4 years in Pacific way. Now, right now we have maybe more because you can find another process peace in a small place, but right now you have in the world 19 process peace in process. The one of this conflict, the one of these 19 process peace, you can find Colombia. Colombia is older conflict, is a conflict complex because it's multipolar. Is have last year 60 year maybe, and you have many things that's incident in the problem of Colombia. The peace is more difficult. That's the war. I'm going to explain something. The process of peace, if the population want, the country want to take the peace like a resolution, they have to understand that the process of peace is historical decision. The people have to believe where begin the peace, inside us. If you don't believe the peace, you never can make the peace. You have to believe that the peace exists, is possible, is the best way for to live, and is good for everybody. And you have to understand that peace is more difficult because you have to understand the another. If you don't understand another, you can begin the process of when we come in peace, when the country are saturated by war. It's normal. You can find many conflicts in the world with 500 years, 100 years, and after that they say, oh, we can continue in this way. When is the decision to change the revenge problem to peace? When they decide to live in the better environment, when the power redistributed among the actors, when the revenge stop, begin the project, because the problem of the war, the problem of the violence is the revenge. The people take the revenge like project. This is the objective, to destroy the another. And when the hero finish to be the identity. When you understand that the revenge is no more the project, and the history is not the identity of the people, you can begin a good process of peace. The peace does not solve the issue. It should make them visible, make the conflict visible, like no violence. We have to shield the conflicts, to take up the conflict. Because when you have the conflict down, the violence, that is the situation that they want. The reason that the violence is uncommon is easy to kill physical or intellectually the opponent. That's the comment to agree. It's the hidden to defend hidden peace work to change the belief. Example of conflict with positive ending. Every conflict gives the experience, gives the knowledge for to the human to continue and to against the next conflicts. I'm going to talk in something Rwanda. Rwanda is more 850,000 people die in 150 days. The Rwanda country is, the people know like the 1,000 colons land and the million dies. We have another problem when in this conflict, this is the negative aspect. The indifference of the international community. Remember that Belgium was the colony in Rwanda, and this conflict changed the language because the people didn't want to talk more French, and they begin to talk in English. And the international community was only watch what happened in Rwanda, and in 150 days, close to 1 million people died. The positive aspect of this conflict is use this process of reconciliation they use the process that the people use in South Africa, involving a local and international court. In 2050 was the last court to Pascal. Pascal was the man that made many things, bad things in Rwanda, and in France he was the court, and he get 25 years on the jail. And inside Rwanda, you have Veronica Vermikia. She was the woman that's talking in the radio that's go to kill the people, to kill the Tutsis. And she get 25 years for that. The involvement of the local international court, national and international, they exchange the war for the business and grow. Today, Rwanda is the most viable country of the east of Africa. It's an example. That's how the people can change the condition, how the people can go to a better condition. Liberia is another example. Prolonged war, meeting work done in Ghana for project purposes, and we have experience in something to learn. The woman, this negotiation was in Ghana, but when the man was inside the building, the woman say, you are not going to go out from this building if you don't find a peace. If you don't find good agreement for the country, you are not going to go out from the building. I don't want to lose more son, more grandson, more husband because I don't have more. That say the woman. And for that, the woman who organizing everything, the movement Peaceful, they won the Nobel Prize. Liberia has many things for to teach to the human. South Africa, we know South Africa. I was in South Africa in 1987. I was a very young with the Navy. I have, in this time I was, and I know, I stayed in South Africa for 7 days. And South Africa have many problems in this time because Mandela go out from the jail the next in this year he go out from the jail. The apartheid was very shame because how the people can do it that they take many things from Nuremberg Nazi in 1935, population on the skin color, and no marry international. Well, many people know, we know how was the South Africa. But what is the thing that South Africa teach to us? That it's possible to forget the people. Mandela, when go out from the jail, he never following the people that made evil for him. He forget everybody. The conflict was resolved, become the example for problem solving, and you know, South African methodology was used in many conflicts in the world. Now, what happened with the international influence in the region, in the Latin America, Central America? We know that the political intervention, geopolitics, is the one principal cause for the problem in Latin America. It's not the totally, but it's responsibility. You can see Venezuela, and that for that I'm going to show you that we are not a Pacific population in America Latina. In 1810 to 1821, we have had 3 wars. The independent wars, the First Republic, we lose the First Republic, the Second Republic, and we get in 1821, we get the freedom and independence. But in this time, we lose the half of the population. In 1816 to 1868, we had the revolution, Blue Revolution, and we lose the half of the population too. After, with General Gomez, to reunify the country, he killed many people. And after 1998 to 2020, for the violent industry, we lose more 160,000 people for the violent. And there are more 500 cases in it for political reason, arbitrary detention, forced disappearance, displacement, almost 6 million of people, Venezuelan people, are throughout the world. Well, I am here in Washington. I want to stay, to go to visit or to stay in my country. I can go to my country, not right now. That is the situation that's many Venezuelan people. The conflict of Guatemala was a long conflict because this conflict had 36 years. And the principal reason that the conflict is to extend was the Cold War. There was no transitional justice like Ireland and South Africa. That is the negative aspect of the negotiation. They don't have had the transitional justice. The reparation of victims, they didn't. Two were wiped out. There was no agreement. They make the reference, they make everything that they propose in this time, but after, when they want to put working all the things that they voting in the reference, they couldn't. The positive factor of this negotiation was the war was stopped. 36 years in war, stop. The another positive thing that Guatemala understood that they have to working with indigenous people because the population coming, the more population coming from there, and the woman participated. The woman have the beautiful labor in the world because only when you check every peace process, you find that the woman make the big job. I'm talking about Irlanda because Irlanda make negotiation during 21 years, but the last 5 years is really the strong volunteer of to get the peace. That conflict coming 500 years when Henry VIII, King England, again the Catholic Church. Then conflict raised the Scotian Gaelic language. But what the good thing? They lose all the century 20 fighter. But after they understand that have to sit down to look for the peace. And they find to transitional justice, to declassify violence, and they make a good process. Ireland is a good example to find how you can get the peace. You have El Salvador. Salvador, the negative factor, 75,000 people died in 12 years. But 70,000 people died in a population of 4 million people. It's too high. It's too high. The reason that the last many years is Cold War. They don't document were not declassified because they don't want that the truth go out. They stay cool every time that Salvador or Guatemala want to make a negotiation with the peace, coming stay up. The positive factor, the Commission of Truth working in Salvador, they went from the beginning under the rule of Spain to begin part of the North American expansion. That country was big with 2 times. They don't have a strong democracy because they couldn't, never couldn't. But you can ask them why the Salvador and Guatemala is violent now. You have one reason. It's not totally the reason, but you have one reason. United States deport many people from Los Angeles that they working with the MARA and the 18. These people went to Salvador, to Guatemala, and these people continue to make the thing bad like in Los Angeles, and the violence is a small country. The violence was grow too much. This is some reason that the violence continue in El Salvador or Guatemala, and the economic condition and the political conflict too is another reason. Colombia, the war lasted more than 60 years. Narco traffic, the problem in Colombia that the guerrilla begin with a beautiful project, but after they change the project for narco traffic, trafficking of weapons, corruption, kidnapping, terrorism, and they look for the peace by the plebiscite. And they know about the Guatemala plebiscite. The Guatemala asking many things in the plebiscite for the people. In Colombia, only asking, you want yes or no? And that's make a good thing in Colombia because, you know, when you have many things for this good with a million people is difficult. Does the people understand what they want and maybe can manipulate the people? And Colombia continued with the process of peace. Colombia don't get the peace yet totally, but they try, and Colombia have a good economic now, but they try. Colombia fall in the peace index after 2019. The indicator was 2,646, and Colombia is in the 10th place. That is in the indicator Global Peace by the Economic Institute for Economic and Peace. Here we have the resume Nicaragua, the guerrilla conflict and the border with Costa Rica that have Nicaragua all the time in conflict. Costa Rica is an example in Central America and for the war. Because Costa Rica, after the Civil War 1948, they finished with the base, military base. They changed the military base for school, for university, colleges, and they say, we don't need the army. They have only a national police. And with that, is somebody coming coming in Costa Rica? No, we have the international community. And they have is a good example for all the country. In my country, I'm talking for the people that I want to eliminate the army, because if we are a poor country, we can spend the money in plane, in ship, warship, in army wet point, when you have people die by the hunger or in the hospital because they don't have medicine. Mexico is a big problem because Mexico is the small business of the drug every place. That is a big problem, and the corruption, internal corruption in the government. And you know, the drug gives many violence for the people. Panama had a problem with in the last past with Noriega and narco traffic. Ecuador, political instability. Bolivia, political instability. Peru, guerrilla and corruption. Brazil, the big problem in Brazil is the social and economic condition. Brazil never fight with nobody. Remember that Brazil get the freedom because the king of Portugal, he put a big rate. His son in Brazil like a king, and he gave the independence to Brazil. The only war that Brazil fighter is with Paraguay, the naval war, but that war was too small and too short. Chile, ideological conflict, you know, Chile have a really conflict, internal social conflicts. Argentina, Malvinas conflicts, dictatorship conflict, economic. Paraguay, I'm told to Paraguay, the naval war. Uruguay, economic conflict. Guyana, the big conflict that Guyana had was caused by Venezuela, the rebellion of the Piroguit. That was a rebellion in 1969 because the people want to make a reference that they want to be maybe from Venezuela, the Essequibo. Trinidad Tobago, the problem, the cause of the violence is narco traffic. Trinidad Tobago is the door for the Europe. Dominican Republic, economic conflict, IT poverty, Cuba, ideologic problem, poor, many things. Cuba have a big problem, social problem. And they know, we know that when Cuba was free, it's coming to be a big problem for America, because you have to work together with them. Honduras, in the ideological condition, Canada is a good country. United States, the conflict, the civil war, the civil rights, involving multiple wars, including the two worldwide conflicts. But United States working for hard. I think that's working hard because this is a multi-society, it's a many culture, and United States working. Now I live here. I'm working here for the peace too. And I make by TikTok and Instagram and Facebook, and make thinking about Martin Luther King, culture of peace, and teach Martin Luther King in the Latin community in Hawkson Hill, that is in Maryland, in Woolwich, in Virginia. When you like to work for the peace, you all the time you look for the way. We have many ways to work for the peace now. Here you can give the growth, the GDP per citizen in Latin America, and this is directly proportional to the violence. When you have a country that you don't have a good money per people, you have high violence. I don't justify the violence because the people are poor, but this is a big reason that the poor cause the violence. You can see Venezuela is as of the list, Grenada, Panama, Chile, country that you think that, oh, why that country is in this condition? My conclusion, this picture, I love this picture. He is Trusha Gandhi, the grandson of Mahatma Gandhi. I spent 7 days with him in Venezuela. And the thing that I want to show you is the world culture need to be erased from the DNA. But he told me, we must be ideology descendant of Mahatma Gandhi. I am the biology descendant, but I'm working by the people, all the people coming be the ideology descendant of Mahatma Gandhi. And we have to work for that. It's possible to change. This picture is me in Brazil in 1989. I was from the army, the Navy. In this time, I believe only in the arm. I believe that all the thing, if you want to get that you want, you have to look for like the force. Now and teach the peace. And change, everybody can change. And told to me every day, and I have to be better every day. I have to work for the peace inside, because it's difficult. It's difficult to work because the peace is not easy. That is the word that after and change, we begin. That is something about the work that we make in Venezuela. We present to the Congress a web point, control web point with 17,000 assignment of people. We make many campaigns. We teach 3,000 people in the philosophy, Kenyan philosophy. And we know that that is a small work, because we have 30 million of people. I remember when I'm talking in my first course of no violence, I'm talking about Martin Luther King. And some men say me, oh, he played baseball. What is the thing that he played? No, he is died. He played to look, he played in the past to look for the peace. Now you asking in Venezuela, who is Martin Luther King? Maybe many people don't know, but after after the war that we made, the people know something about Martin Luther King, know something about Mahatma Gandhi. And I want to show you a video, a small video about the one campaign that we make in Venezuela. Can you hear? Okay.
We're not seeing anything, Leonardo. Is it loading?
No se ve. No se ve. Oh, okay. Let me. I don't know why. No. Okay. Let me put. Oh, I know the why.
Okay.
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
I'm going to. Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. Oh no. Okay. Now you can see? No? Okay.
Move it to full screen.
Oh, let me put yeah.
Open to full screen.
Okay. Sorry, because
That's okay. That's okay. It's good. That's much good. Very good. Got the sound?
okay.
Is there sound?
¿Se sabe? No se escucha. What?
Okay. Better.
¿Se escucha? Well, I want to show this video because I love every course, every class of no violence that we make every place in Venezuela. After finish the class, we may take a picture and the people write peace, love, and with that, we have people around all Venezuela, Merida, Bolivar, Caracas, And that is the way that we can create a culture of peace.
Mm.
It's a hard work, but with Gandhi say, all the thing that you do is small, but you have to do. You have to do. For that, Latin America now, we have a problem with the peace. But I know that if we begin together and continue to teach the culture of peace, it's possible. It's possible. I make every day I'm put a video in TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter about the peace. This take me maybe 20 seconds, and maybe for to do 3 minutes, 5 minutes. It's a small thing, but we have to do. Mm. Thank you for the opportunity to make this presentation. Thank you, Mr. Paul. Thank you, Tuten. I'm very happy. And when you need me to work for the peace, I'm ready. All the time, I'm ready. Okay, thank you.
Gracias muchísimas, amigo de paz. Thank you so much, my friend of peace and nonviolence. And now I'd like to just have some questions. I would just start, if you could just answer very briefly, and then we'll take some questions from our guest participants tonight. What, in your opinion, are the prospects for peace now in Venezuela? Are they good? Are they not so good? What is your view of the current situation for peace in Venezuela?
Okay, we like organization, like our no-profit organization, have 2 years working the day after. We work in the name of the project is the day after. What happened after finish the confrontation and we get a free election and finish the conflict? I think positive, because when the people suffering, the people is open for a new thing. I believe that we have everything that we need to do a good country, a big country. The most important, a country close to God. And we believe that we are going to arrive in this, like Martin Luther King say, the promised land. And we can do it. When you have a problem, you are going to get a big thing, a good big thing.
Okay, thank you. Tupten, do you want to facilitate the questions on the chat, or how would you like to proceed?
Sure. So I think considering the time, it might be faster or it might be easier if you can use the either raise your hand feature or just unmute and ask your question. It might be easier.
You have a question? I don't. No. I got the women.
Somebody?
So I don't see any hand raised. Please unmute yourself. Oh, Gretchen, yes, please go ahead.
Yes, I'm interested.
Please say who you are and where you're from.
Okay, my name is Gretchen Draper. I am from New Hampshire in the United States. I'm a level 2 Kingian nonviolence trainer. And I'm very interested in the role of women in your peace organizations. I can see, I know the power of the women that have made big changes, but I'm wondering everyday kind of things that the women do. Do they do trainings? Do they work with other women? Do they go into villages? What sort of things?
Okay, I believe that my family, I have three daughter, three sister. It's only my rank is only woman, and I believe that the woman when begin something never left,
Mhm.
never left.
Yeah.
They continue to fight it. When everything is opposite, they believe that is possible. You can see Liberia, you can see, we have a sparing in Venezuela like Las Madres de Catuche. Was this the one neighborhood too dangerous in Venezuela? Las Madres de Catuche take all the men and they soon and say, we stop going in the neighborhood. And all the mothers of the people catch her son. Oh, you don't have gun, give me. You don't fight her. And she work every place, they work every place to stop the violence. This neighborhood now in Venezuela is the neighborhood more safe because the woman say stop the violence.
Yeah.
And they believe in this. They are attend. If something happen, all the women go, what happened here? Who is this man? It's not from here, go out.
Yeah.
And they call the police, and this is an example in my country. But you can see Liberia, you can see South Africa, you can see Rwanda, you can see many places that the woman take the protagonist.
Yes.
And it's good when I see a peace process and I see woman from, I say, oh, this is going to good place.
Thank you. That's very good. That's how I think too.
No, you know, in Liberia, the police, the woman talking to the police, you know, was the people was in Ghana, and the police from Ghana cannot doing nothing because it's international situation, and the police help the woman when the men want to go out from the window. They say no, you cannot go out. You have to work inside for the peace.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, this is it.
Yes. Oh.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Gretchen. And okay, so can I see if there's more question? Yes, Alison, I saw. Yes, please go ahead.
Hi there, my name is Allie Blattner. I'm a graduate student at the University of Rhode Island. I took nonviolence training and have been in several Paul's classes in before, so I'm fairly, I'm familiar with a lot of the concepts that you're discussing. Specifically, I've done a lot of reading for other courses about Latin America, internal conflict and ongoing violence. And when I try to, I find myself wanting to be a better ally and help to boost awareness about issues where people could potentially help. I was wondering if there are any like specific maybe misconceptions about Venezuela or like maybe things you would like to make sure that people, they just get wrong about the conflict. Like if there's one thing you wanted to make sure people understood about like either what they can do or the best, like the way that I guess it feels when you're actually in the country as compared to getting everything through a US media lens. Like, is there one thing that you could pick out that you would want to make sure everybody knows?
Yes. Well, we have many true in Venezuela. The people now die by hunger. The people,
Mhm.
we are a petroleum country. We don't have gases.
Mm.
We have the 5 bigger hydroelectric for electrician. We don't have electrician.
Mm.
Venezuela is an example because I'm talking to in the television, in the radio, that the problem is not the president.
Mm.
The problem is the people. We are the problem. But we are part of the problem, but we are part of the solution. Because when you see that a rich country like Venezuela in 1955 with Pérez Jiménez, we was the 5th economic in the world. You believe that? The 5th economic in the world. We pay in this time. We had $1, 1 bolivar, and now we have a country destroyed. A country like $1 is, if you take the first 1 bolivar when Chavez coming in or Calderas, you have maybe 20 of depression of the money in Venezuela. The people win now $4 per month. And the truth is that we have to understand that we are the problem and we are the solution too. I understand that I can do the thing for my country better than I did. When you understand that, you know you can build more than you did. And the another thing that we have to understand that we have to work together. When the society, if you have a marriage that's one working for one thing, another working for another thing, you are arriving never at some place, a good place. When you have a company, one partner go to one side and another go to one side, another side, the company is broke. In Venezuela, we have punctual problem. We left to believe in God. You don't believe in God, you don't have a friend and nothing, and you don't want to help nobody. We believe that we are owner of the truth. And you believe 30 million of people that each one believe that have the truth. Nobody work together.
Yeah.
And for that, we working in a project that is the day after is the name of the project. We're working about reconciliation.
Yeah.
How we are going to get the reconciliation after this problem? Because we don't have a war. We don't have many people died, but we have more 20 years in conflict. We have iron, we have gold, we have diamond, we have many things in my country. We have the first uranium reserve of the world. We don't have food in the refrigerator.
All these great things, but I can't feed my family.
We have a rich land with poor people. I believe that is good. No, you know, when God lets that something happen to you, it's because He prepared you for something good. I believe that God prepared us for something good. And say some people, we are the new Israel because we have 6 million people around the world. And we're learning many things. When we back to Venezuela, we are going to make the thing better that we did.
Thank you so much.
I think we have, someone has chatted in a question. Joni, Joni, you want to bring your question forward?
La estrategia kenyana disipar la corrupción en Líbano y ya por todo el conflicto de la
Líbano. Okay, the Líbano is a conflict difficult because you have 17 different religions.
Yes.
And remember that Syria coming in Lebanon in the north, Israel coming in the south.
Mm-hmm.
And the Lebanon don't have a land for to work. The people fight window by window. Window by window. But this process there, the people understand that.
Leonardo, excuse me, just can we get, I think you got the question, but I don't think everyone knows what the question is.
Ah, okay, because the question is,
yes. Joni asked Joni, would you ask asking the question?
How can the Kenyan strategy for peace begin to diffuse corruption in Lebanon? Give the many conflict, religion, faction, and composite the country parliament. Okay, and Lebanon have a problem, religion problem, but they understand something, that they are alone in the conflict. They understand that they are the Phoenicians, and they have to work to finish the conflict. I think that the Kenyan philosophy teach for everybody in the world that the love is the only way that you can change the people. You have to work with the love, the agape love. Somebody teach me that, Mr. Paul. He teach me that. And when you understand that the love can everything, you are in the way to get the solution. That is the principal thing that Martin Luther King teach to us.
Thank you very much, Dr. Prieto.
Aquí otra manera.
Thank you, Joni. I believe, just to add on that, I think most of you are familiar with the recent passing of the great civil rights legend, John Lewis. And I think he was exemplary in all of his nonviolent work, his struggle for civil rights and freedom and equality across his entire life. His one central, foundational belief was in the power of nonviolence through the power of love. And I'm glad to hear you mention this, Leonardo, in your talk tonight. Thank you. Thanks, Joni, for that question.
Yes, thank you very much. Thank you. I think I'm afraid we are out of time now. And thank you again, Dr. Prater, for your wonderful presentation. Thank you, everyone, for your interest, participation, and your questions and contribution. And so we are working for another wonderful lecture presentation based on Gandhiji's philosophy next month, and I hope you may be able to join us again next month.
Tupten, can we have Leonardo, would you mind placing your email address if people wanted to contact you for any individual questions they may have in addition to our program tonight? Is that possible?
I'm right now.
Yes, and then if also in the chat, if you wanted to share your organizational, a web address or a link
Mhm.
you know, you could also
Yes,
share.
I'm right now.
Okay, wonderful.
Mhm. Right? Okay.
And next time, I hope we'll hear some music from your wife.
Okay. Now, you know that I'm learning to play saxophone here in the United States.
Hey, good.
Very good.
And my TikTok is no, the chat. Okay, let me change because it's private.
Yes, I'm forwarding it because
Yeah.
it's my private.
Can you replay? Okay.
Yes, I forwarded it.
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
I'm also
Okay,
putting
okay.
the center's website, where if you're not on the center's email list, you can go to the Center for Nonviolence and Peace Studies at uri.edu/nonviolence. And there's a little mailing envelope somewhere on the homepage where you can sign up to receive notifications, emails, and things like that.
Perfect.
Okay,
Well, thank you too much for
great,
the opportunity.
great.
And we have to talk, Mr. Paul, because the project for the day after in Venezuela, you have a good, you have a big participation there.
And there's much, much to do right here in the United States with your Spanish language version of Dr. King's Violence Training Institute.
Mhm.
Yeah. Yes, we talking. I'm talking with the mayor from Washington because I want to begin in Oxon Hill the training
Yep.
for the people, and in the Woolwich and Lorton because the people need. I need to teach.
Yes,
when I teach, I'm learning.
yes.
Yeah.
But we working with somebody here, and we want to start to training people here in Maryland, Virginia, Washington.
Great.
Excellent.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, everyone. Again, hope to see you again soon.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
We need some music.
Have a good night.
Oh,
Good night.
Thank you,
Yes.
everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Is that this way?
Mr. Paul, with ukulele.
Yeah.
This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Oh, this little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine.
Let it shine.
Let it shine. Let it shine.
Let it shine.
Yay!
Yay.
Shake it up.
Good night, everybody.
Thank you.
Good night.
Bye.
Mary, you have snow up there? You have snow up there yet?
Not yet, but I
Tonight.
think tonight.
Tonight.
It's coming down.